This feels like music for conference calls. This feels like a perfect 2000s office space. A rooms to go commercial. How you doing, folks? Welcome to the stream. We're taking it easy today in the lab. I got something I'm trying out here. I'm a little confused. But let's first welcome our folks here on rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. Our folks on punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. And of course, our people here on YouTube. How you doing, everybody? Happy Thursday. Weather Channel, the most perfect Weather Channel jam. What you don't understand is those are the best. Those are the absolute best musicians. I've already said this before. The session jammers. This is what they really want to make. Welcome, punchy.tv/Anchor Baby. And of course, our callers. If you want to call in, you could call in 844-900-2229. You'll hear her in a second.
You are connected as the host.
Thanks, darling. All right, okay, so we're live. We're here. I'm trying something new here. I got something called vertical streaming, okay? I don't know how you guys can see it, and I don't know how to make it work. But I want to make it work because, check it out. Look, you see, we're live here normally. YouTube, okay, I'm not showing anything bad. I might know. And then you see this right here on the right side? This little vertical. What happens if I put myself over here? Will I show up in my vertical stream? See, because it lets you reach a wider audience. It lets you reach a wider audience, and I'm wondering what the heck is going on. Uh-oh. Hold on. Let's make sure we didn't do something catastrophic. Hold on, folks. Sorry. Okay. We're good. We're good. Woo! Boomer. Nick, look into that court case. It's crazy. C-Sal, I heard you call it to the Hake Report. And, that's actually on. I was maybe going to look into it with y'all here in a moment. There's a couple of things here on my mind. And I want to see if this vertical stuff will bring in some callers, because what I initially have for you guys is an interesting little story with the Trump administration and refugees. Okay, they're prioritizing whites, and there was an interesting article in response I think by Revolver, just like on Revolver, and I'm seeing some of these responses kind of trying to clean it up for Trump. They're Trump supporters, I imagine, and they're like, let me tell you why it's not about race. And I'm not saying it is. I'm saying one thing here is, like, you can talk about it. It can be totally about race. And that's not a bad thing. And the moment you talk about it, the moment you do, you get all sorts of people who see that as a terrible thing, right? You're a Nazi, you're a racist. And that encompasses people in the left and the right. So it's an interesting thing. We'll get into that too, C-Cell, okay? The Voting Rights Act. And I think C-Cell got it. Like, I was going to look into it with y'all, but it sounded like you had it on the money there, C-Cell. We'll get to everybody. 844-900-2229. Will this bring fruits? Let's change our title here. Let's go white refugees. Yeah. White refugees. Nazi group chats. Call in. There we go. We did it. We did it, chat. See, this is strange. Oh, okay. So if it did work. Chat, allow me to bumble around with this, because if I put myself over here, I'm going to show myself to the vertical chat, to the vertical stream. And if I put the phone number over here, are you guys able to see a vertical stream somewhere? Are you guys like, what are you talking about? To reach a wider audience. How you doing, American Native? Fish Fanatics, South Frank. How you doing, Natalie? New name I'm seeing in the chat. Appreciate it. Francisco. Ivana. What's up, cuz? Kevin. Appreciate the mods. Okay, we're destroying the illusion here. Hold on. And now let's get the number. Let's put that right there. Ooh, okay, there we go. Hello, vertical stream. You could call in. We'll see if that brings fruits. Okay, I gotta be right over here. So, look. I saw this post on X. I saw this little post on X. Yeah, the chat ain't as good. I know we block in the chat, but we're gonna make this. It's just better, okay? If we block the chat a bit, that's okay. Maybe make myself smaller. For desktop users, you'll get a different look, okay? You'll get a different look. What's up? Okay, where were we? Put your tray up. We got somebody who might be our boy. Oh, that's a mess. Let's turn my no camera on when we're browsing, okay? Somebody was reporting a little thing. And this is kind of in the top. The theme, the theme here is, the context is recent group chats and people saying the N-word and they're being racist. Talk about gas chambers, and so you're familiar with the Young Republican story. Taking this back to 2020, Bad Hombre here reporting about Politico refusing to publish the text between Hunter Biden and his attorney, George Mesires. I don't know, folks. I don't know how to say that name. Hunter refers to Mesires as Iga. Derek gave me the pass, okay? This is for YouTube, okay? I'm doing it for you, YouTube. That's like... Anyways. Iga, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates. Okay. Hennessy rates? That Hunter Biden. Politico thinks we've memory hold that episode. Bad Hombre doesn't want you to forget. Okay, they're very selective, the mainstream media, these journalists. And if it's their boy, if it's somebody on their side, okay, we'll look the other way. Chat, can I say one thing, though? One of us? Where do you find, what are they even talking about here? Where do you find unconditional love then, George? God loves unconditionally. Bo loves you unconditionally. George, children are too young to understand what it means, but you will show them. I haven't read this. Hunter Biden the painter. These are ideals of unconditional love that serve as proxies. I don't have many. You, God. OMG, Iga. Did you just use a fictional character from the imagination of the collective frightened, and my dead brother's unconditional love is what I should rely on? And my kids are children, George. That's got to be Hunter talking to George Mesires, however you say that. My parents' love was conditioned. Hey, Hunter, my piwas, that's a French word, as of late has been unconditional. That's why we are searching, okay, Hunter. It's far too early for this. It's daytime, Hunter. We can't, but I think we can safely say maybe kind of a hilarious guy. maybe a little lost. Okay, maybe a lot lost. And nobody is surprised. This is Joe Biden's son. We love Joe Biden as messed up as, whatever. Look, the guy is maybe more relatable than some of these political, like, snakes, these swamp monsters. And really, that's I'm saying that to describe the political class that recoiled at the young Republicans and recoil at this language, but also in general. Now I'm thinking about just people pearl clutching over, things like people say stuff, right? You may not say it, but you've said other things. And another thing, some men speaks their way. It really it'll rub you the wrong way, whatever. You could not like it, but what a mess. So Hunter, one of us, a guy, I guess, I don't know. He's just saying. For one thing, what I was thinking too is one of us. It's like older generations really won't get it. And it's beyond internet culture. It's generational too. The just rampant usage of the N word. It's not. It's totally benign and chill. It's just a joke. It's just like a funny way of characterizing a thought or exclaiming. Okay. For a lot of people, it's it's especially when they were younger, right? Before being told you're so bad, it was like friendship. It was like we're cool, we're chill, right? We're all friends. It's all cool. But anyways, why is Hunter talking like a black though? That's the see, you won't get it. You won't get it. There's also been a hip-hopification of all. It's like the Overton window. You know how you have the Overton window, the range of the range of discourse that's basically publicly allowed. You can disagree and debate, but then there are things in the fringe that's just like you're gonna bring up too much issues, go to jail, or I don't know. There's also in the same way call it the same mechanism, some sort of similar mechanism. The black Overton, the hip hop, black window, some sort of black window has moved blackward for all generations, all races. It's a generational thing. It probably has to do with popular culture. I'm just saying. Look, you're gonna tell me I'm wrong? Okay. Hey, what's up, Joshua? So, there's this interesting thing. It's kind of related. Gavin Wax and the young Republicans, people getting canceled for this. Yeah, they maybe shouldn't have. They should maybe get serious and realize the position they're in the blacker tone window. Nice. Reverb. Am I reverbing? What's up, Birdie Bound Brian? Let me know if I'm echoing. But where was I? Did you read it, Nit? I did not read the rest of those text messages. We're moving on. Hunter Biden. It's not Friday night. But where was I? Kind of related to the young Republicans and all that. Where was I? What's up? Look at this story. It has to do with immigration. Check it out. So let me see if I can pull up the initial story, actually. Where I first saw this, it was refugees, New York Times, and then the revolver response. So Trump considers overhaul of refugee system. Okay, check it out. Check this out. Let's get in there. Let's hack the mainframe. We're hacking the mainframe. We'll get to calls 844-900-2229. I wonder if there's a way to see vertical viewers. Is there a way to do that? Look, if you're a new viewer, look, we're discussing amongst whatever you'd like to talk about Trump's consideration. We're trying to pull up the article here. We're hacking the mainframe, as you can see. Donate to increase RAM for better hacking. I don't know what this is. But they're overhauling the refugee system that would favor white people. I'm saying it's not controversial. I'm saying it's fine to say to favor whites. It makes reasonable sense. And I think you could say white, kind of in response to the right wing that is kind of saying, hey, they're cleaning it up for Trump. It isn't about race. They're saying it's not about race. All right, what's going on here, New York Times? Did you upgrade your capabilities? Okay. Do we have to get the best hackers on it? What's going? Hold on, folks. Let me do some manual hacking. All right, you've bested me, New York Times. You've bested us for now. Raw story. We're going to trust them. Trump remaking refugee system to favor white and English-speaking people report. So President Donald Trump came under heavy criticism earlier this year for using the U.S. refugee resettlement program to take in white Afrikaners. You remember that? It was just a few of them. And it revealed how controversial it is to help white people in need. You know, and that's on top of, right, years and years of precedent of helping people, all these foreigners in need. So all of a sudden, a couple white people, it's like, hold on, why are you? Hold on, aren't you listening to these people out there chanting, "Kill the Boer"? Haven't you heard their explanation, Mr. President? They're saying these people deserve it because it's like apartheid, and you're getting in the middle of that. That's. I'm giving you a crude summary, but that's basically it. So you can't help white people. So. Based on the far-right conspiracy, here we go. Theories of a white genocide in South Africa that are debunked by local police statistics and other data. Everybody wants to say it's a genocide. It's a genocide in Palestine. It's a controversial, maybe. It's a look, maybe BB's going too far. I don't have a dog in the, I don't have a thing in the thing. But you want to tell me, oh, genocide? Yeah, I heard there's more Palestinians than ever. And I heard there's less white people globally than ever, and it just continues to go down. And they're chanting "Kill the Boer," and when you question it and you bring you interview someone, an expert, white liberal lady from South Africa, and you ask, "Hey, why are they saying kill the Boer?" You tell me there's racism against blacks. Tell me why they say kill the Boer, kill the white man, kill the farmer. And they're like, it's just a slogan because of XYZ apartheid. Oh, it's just a slogan. So anyways, there's your white genocide, their raw story. Debunked by local police statistics. Okay, but this could just be the beginning. New documents reveal Trump is planning to undertake a radical overhaul of the U.S. refugee system that would slash the program to its bare bones while giving preference to English speakers, white South Africans, and Europeans who oppose migration. Quite specific in their requirements there. What do you mean? You're going to bring in immigrants and oppose migration? How do you do the both? Nit, do you think the market is going to crash? I don't know. Nothing ever crashes. Okay, it just goes down, up, down, right? Anyways, it's fine to do this for first of all. And you could say it's white, okay? And I get Revolver. I gather they support Trump. Who runs Revolver again? Revolver News. Is there a Wikipedia on this? I had always heard it's Darren Beatty or something, but I never looked into it. I don't know. I've never looked into it. Editor-in-chief, Brandon Geist. Founder, Brad Tolinsky. Is this even the real one? Heavy metal music? No. Founder of the news website, Revolver News, Darren Beatty. Some of you might be more familiar than I with this fella. But look, someone wrote this article. Yes, welcome to America, Mr. and Mrs. White. And they go on. Yes, our headline packs a punch, but unlike the New York Times, we're going to give you the full story. And they're referring to that article I was trying to hack the mainframe for, but their systems are... They got to figure it out, okay? They got to figure it out. Anchor Baby will have to come back to that. We're going to give you the full story, they say. And the bit I was reading when I had the chance to, there was like a lot of talk about focusing on white people and it being... Like, how are you going to do that? So they're kind of responding to that. Hey, they're not giving you the full story. President Trump's push for more English-speaking refugees isn't about race. It's about assimilation. He wants people who can embrace... And that's true. That's not a wrong statement. But I'm responding to this whole need to kind of maybe clean up Trump, clean up Trump's thing here. And it doesn't always have to be bad. It could be... There might be a time and place for that. But I do wonder... I think the motivations here sometimes are... What's it called? Compromise, right? Like... Them cleaning it up, it's because they don't like it when... And I don't know if Darren or whoever wrote this is doing that. But it's not just about, hey, let's clean it up because, let's let people know it is about assimilation. That's a true statement. They're picking the English speakers, the white ones, the European ones, because they will assimilate better. That's just true. They'll say, well, they brought in refugees. They brought in all these people in some time ago in America's history. Irish, all these Europeans. You're going to tell me you can't have immigrants? It's like those people are far more alike. It's just the truth. And so it is a true statement, but the desire to want to clean it up, I think, is because they don't like it if you make it about race. And what am I trying to say here? I don't say, well, look, you could say, I think the aversion to this is because it's like an aversion to like whites. I don't know, like and them wanting to make their country great again. That's how I see it a bit. Okay. He wants people who can embrace American culture and Western values to twist that into some white-only narrative as if Trump is the next Grand Wizard of the Klan is pure theater. But it's not KKK Grand Wizard stuff to say that America should be a majority white country, for example. That's one statement. And to have a conversation about assimilation, when is that even possible? I think you got to have a guiding light. For that to work, I think you got to have a guiding light. A true north. A culture everyone can kind of fall back on. And you got to pick one. So just white, because it's the one. That's the one that was here, white. You don't have to call it white. They didn't call it white. Now we're all calling it white because of all this. Maybe they did call it white, but it wasn't such a fight. It was just like, this is America, duh. White Christians came and made it. So you got to have like a guy, like if you are to have people to come and assimilate, they have to, right? There has to be a very strong, unifying culture. And to have that, you cannot dilute it. It's got to be very strong. So that means majority white. That means majority white. So I don't think that's controversial. I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a hatred to the races. America's the most, or just, the West, etc. And I think we could take care of home. It's not a bad thing. So 844-900-2229. It's an interesting thing because you even have this Japanese prime minister, right? The new who might be the new prime minister over there in Japan, right? This lady who will, if she's to be the prime minister there, she will be the first lady to run Japan there. Japan's Takaichi Wu's right-leaning party to secure premiership. Yeah, because she's not like the right wing. Sanae Takaichi, the newly elected head of Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party, held talks about a possible coalition with leaders of the right-leaning Innovation Party in a bid to clinch a prime ministerial vote expected next week. So the Nikkei share average rose as, I don't know what that is, risk prospects appeared to brighten for Takaichi to become Japan's first woman premier, stoking bets on a revival in big spending and loose monetary policy. Right? Release the regulations. Hey, sounds like a nationalist populist kind of thing. Release the regulations. Japan, make it happen. And that's for me when the distinction of Democrat and socialist and all that kind of like, not that it's not important, but I think it has these other distinctions have its place. It's not this. So it could be that. Put it like this: a people will vote. A people, at least a rational people, will vote for what they need in a sense, and what they think is the most important. If they think this nationalism is important for their borders, etc., and if it'll be delivered by some sort of democratic liberal, like that's just how it's going to be. But what else about that? The other thing I was thinking is just simply think about how you almost have to dress it up. In my opinion, to be this nationalistic, right? To be this right wing and say, you know what, Japan's, if she is really like how I've heard she is, Japan's for Japan, and we're gonna, you're not just gonna be, we're not gonna fall for this immigration stuff. We're gonna work on home. Part of me is, a part of me sees it as you are having to put that forth when it's like a tough thing to put forth. So you got to do it with a woman, dress it up, right? So all over, you got to dress it up. If you're strong, we got to come in strong with like a strong policy of the border and nationalism. But we got to have something here, dress it up. No, it's not about race. It's about assimilation, Revolver, quickly. Basically. So yeah, I see a similar thing with the Japanese prime minister. So what? She is Sanae Takaichi. She is now let's actually see this. Hardline conservative and nationalist. Okay. Takaichi is a member of the far right. Wait, hold on. It's the same Takaichi? Oh yeah, that looks like her. Sanae Takaichi. She's a member of the far-right ultra-nationalist organization, Nihon Kaigi. That's how you say that, right? It's not Nippon, or do you say Nippon? Am I being a gringo? Nippon Kaigi is Japan's largest ultra-conservative and ultra-nationalist Can it be ultranationalist? The ultranationalist female, the ultranationalist far-right female candidate. Non-governmental organization. Oh, it's an NGO and lobbying group. So, never mind. Organization describes its aims as to change the post-war national consciousness based on the Tokyo Tribunal's view of history as a fundamental problem. Wait, hold on. That sounds deep. Wait, what? The organization describes its aims as to change the post-war national consciousness based on the Tokyo Tribunal's view of history as a fundamental problem and to revise Japan's current constitution. The return of the nation of the rising sun. What is it? Red Tokyo. International Military Tribunal for the Far East, also known as the Tokyo Trial, the Tokyo War Crimes Tribunal. Uh-oh. Last time a nation had gripes over their penalties and standings in the post-war consensus, I heard it didn't go. I heard it went crazy. Was a military trial convened on April. Is that me? Being like? Is that me expressing like Nazi worries? Nazi worries of Nippon Kaigi? Hey guys, last time that happened, did you hear about Hitler? You guys not happy with how the treaties and everything that happened in the Tokyo War? You want to undo that? Obviously peacefully and through. I'm just understanding this myself. Military trial convened on 1946, right? For their crimes against humanity. World War II, hey, a lot of people have a dark history with the Japanese. Following their defeat, United States General Douglas MacArthur issued a special proclamation establishing the IMTFE. Is this the same charter that, banned their religion? Is United States General Douglas MacArthur the same one involved in what I heard was a banning of their religion? Yes, that's the same person. Here's what happened. After Japan surrendered in 1945, the country was occupied by Allied forces. One of his major jobs was to oversee Japan's reconstruction and democratization. Of course, this all happened. Shinto was heavily tied to nationalism and emperor worship, so they had to get rid of that. During that period, MacArthur and the occupation authorities implemented reforms that included separating religion from state. Take everything. This is AI, so this could be a hallucination. This wasn't exactly a ban on the religion, but rather a disestablishment of state Shinto. Separating religion from state. Are you taking this in? Conquering a nation is a known practice, folks. It's an already established science, okay? It's an established science on how to divide and conquer. And sometimes you divide and conquer for the goodness of the world, peace and stability, right? We were taught that, right? Hey, maybe it was necessary. Sometimes you do it for Christ, right? But hey, you taking that in? They made them divide religion from state. Hey, that's democracy, Japan. Okay, stay democratic or else. It's a little bit about world nations and how they fight and make up, I think we're discovering here. But yeah, so this Nippon Kaigi wants to undo kind of like this whole thinking about Tokyo's. They're not allowed to have like Lil Nick in the middle of the screen's weird. Let me know if you guys are catching the vertical stream. Hold on. So they're trying to undo that. That's kind of a cool. It's kind of a cool mission there. Nippon Kaigi and they've put forth Sanae Takaichi. She's in the wrong position as a woman, and I think it describes just how taboo it is to say a nation should be, right. We want to invest on our own. If you think about it, there are nations in the world that are I guess they are pariahs for that reason. No, okay. I don't want to speak out of turn, but you think of China. The China. I mean, whatever, they might have issues. I don't really. They might be evil or whatever, like the government. But they're not importing a bunch of people. You notice they've made their bets, and who are the big competitors to America that, for all, they just make stuff cheap and they just copy, which might be all true. They're just like copycats and whatever. Like they're a competitor, and to the point where, the Pentagon, the State Department, they talk about it. They say, we need to pivot to China. It's a big deal. Where have they invested in? They've invested in their people. They're like, yeah, we can do it. Chinese can do it. The Chinese, no, we don't need. This is my impression. Look, is that I don't get, maybe I'm wrong, but I do not get the impression that China is overrun by immigrants because they need labor. But whatever. They probably have their issues too. I've heard about birth rates over there too, so sounds like maybe the world is in a tough state. In a tough state, so they're antsy. They're ready for anything. What the? Now let's move on from that. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Mic check. I'm still here. Yep. What are y'all saying here? Yeah, I liked how that guest today understood truly a lot of what Jesse said to him. Yeah, that the actor on the JLP show, that was enjoyable. That was enjoyable radio. He was just taking it in. Just taking in Jesse's some of what he was saying. It sounded like he had found him a while ago, but wanted to meet him. Ended up way better than he thought. That was pretty cool. Matthew Smith, I think, right? Matthew Stephen Smith on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Great guest on Bible Thumper Thursday. So that was good work. Nick, I can fix her. Who you trying to fix? Takaichi? You trying to fix Takaichi? She's gonna fix you. She'll be like, whip you into shape. like right, and it's like a woman doing it, so I don't know, it has like a twisted feeling to it, like, oh, I this is what I'm supposed to overcome. This is what Jesse was talking about. This woman's ruling over me. She's whipping me into shape, short haired. What is she, in the military?
Democratic Party in government in Parliament.
I want to hear her talk now. Sanae Takaichi.
Takaichi Sanae's election win has raised fears that the fragile engagement between China and Japan over the past year could be
News conference. No. Don't translate. Just give me the interview.
Japan's ruling Liberal.
Wait, what?
Japan's ruling Liberal Democratic Party will pick a new leader on Saturday.
Of course you're not going to show me anything. You're discriminating me. Like, this person doesn't speak Japanese. We're not going to show you interviews of her. I'm being discriminated against. Here we go. 本当に
皆様と共に、自民党の新しい時代を刻みました。誠にありがとうございます。
Cool. I just want to hear. Oh, jeez. What's wrong with you, man? Why would you make a video like this?
Audio Studios.
Bloomberg.
Podcasts, radio, news.
On hopes of more.
Anyways, we heard her. Anthony. Right, Prime Minister. My bad. Anthony. Anyways, I think we got Arizona on the line. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Hello?
Hey, who am I speaking with?
Hello? You're speaking with Humberto.
What's up, Humberto? Thanks for your call.
If the guy from last time, from the summer of the cybersecurity job.
What's up, man? How you been?
I've been good. How have you been doing?
All is well.
Yep,
It's been a
I
while,
was
man.
listening to JLP this morning. Oh, what was that?
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, I know it's been a while.
Right on, man. You came to Bond and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Well, nice to hear from you, sir. How you been? Go ahead.
I've been doing really, really good. The cybersecurity gig. I'm in college right now. I'm taking a little break. I'm getting some work done. And yeah, it's been going real well. Doing this the cybersecurity thing also. It is my first day going back to the gym. I plan on going after I'm done with class later on in the afternoon. But yeah, everything's going real well.
Glad to hear it, man. Hitting the gym, going back on strength training. What are you gonna hit?
Yep. Yes.
Just some little classic. Do some little classic. Just easy stuff. 5x5. Don't go crazy.
Yep.
Push it as hard as you can. Just one muscle group even, and rest. Eat big.
Yes.
You know what's up.
But I have a question for you. How do you let go of anger?
How do you let go of anger? So you have anger?
Yeah, I would say, yeah. And
And
I
what-
wanna know like how to get rid of it. How to get rid of anger.
It's a great question. So what caused you to call in about it?
Well, there's like sometimes I'm like sad or I'm like angry, you know?
You said what?
Well, there's sometimes like where I think, like emotions and all that.
Uh-huh. And you're having trouble with that.
Yes.
I understand what you mean, man.
Hmm. Like we're like with this college stuff, like a class that's really like stressing me out,
Yeah. Tell me
and
about
like
it.
I'm overthinking too much.
In what way? What are you overthinking?
Well, it's like well, it's like it's about to be like the end of the semester. I got this month, next month, in December.
You
And
said
I'm, like,
what? What you said? What next month in December?
The semester, my semester.
It ends.
Yeah, yes.
And what's stressing you about it?
Well, it's like I'm overthinking too much because I'm like saying to myself, man, I don't think I'm gonna pass, and I'm like overthinking.
Have you been slacking?
I will confess, I will say yes.
So you think you might
Fail, yeah.
not you might fail it.
Yep, and I've been trying everything I can to catch up. I've been going to the library, getting help, that kind of thing, getting help with my work. Yeah, so I've been trying.
And you're able to, like, you're doing the work. You're like, hey, what extra credit can I do?
Yeah.
Nice, man. So it sounds like you're doing what you can there.
Yeah.
So what
Yeah, I'm
happens
doing
if
what
you
I
fail
can.
this course? What happens if you fail this?
Well, I have to. What happens if I fail the course?
Yeah.
I mean,
Or this class or
what
whatever.
happens if I fail? Oh, the class. Well. Right now I'm taking 3 classes. I'm taking the cybersecurity thing. I'm taking a introduction to college class, and I'm taking a reading class.
Mm-hmm.
I am passing the cybersecurity class, but the 2 other ones I'm struggling in them.
I gotcha.
Yep.
And so what happens if you fail these classes?
Then I don't pass.
Is it like over? What do you mean? You can't try again? You can't?
Yeah, I can. I can do a recovery stuff, but I'm overthinking too much.
What's recovery stuff?
Basically, like ask the professor, teacher, whoever, like saying, hey, can I do recovery? Like, can I do like a project or like a couple of assignments for your class, and then I can pass.
Gotcha. And is it that the course material is like difficult, or is it just you just need
Yeah.
to put some more
Yeah,
effort into it, or what?
It's difficult. I'm always in the library after class getting help. There's a tutor there. I'm always getting help.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like you got these classes. Sounds like 2 of them are pretty tough. You're working on it, and the pathways here is you pass or you fail and you try again. Am I on the right money here? Am I on the right track?
Yep.
In what way is anger going to help in any of that?
Well, it's not gonna help at all because if I keep overthinking, I'm just gonna like keep beating myself up and stressing out.
And why are you doing that?
I don't know.
I understand.
Yeah, it's like too much.
But it's not rational, right?
my
We've
mind.
arrived to that, right?
Yeah.
It's not logical. Like, it doesn't make sense, right?
Hmm.
So we definitely understand that. So, man, you know, I've spoken to you before. I remember you came and all that. You know, how do I ask you this? Because I'm not this is not my kind of wheelhouse, but I do want to ask you, you know, have you been silent praying? Did you forgive your mom? I remember you came. I don't remember if you did all that. I don't know if you
No,
if that
I have
matters
not.
to you.
I have not done the silent prayer. I have not forgiven my parents.
May I tell you why that was significant for me?
Yeah.
Because, like, here we are arriving rationally to beating myself up is not going to help me in this situation. It's not going to it's not going to change the fact that the two options here are either I pass this class or I fail and try again. And it's not like I'm slacking off here or it's like anything like that. So emotion and beating myself up over that is not rational. Isn't it interesting how we can rationally arrive to that and that's not helping? And so the significance for me, I'll tell you this because I'm not like here trying to counsel you, man, but I'll tell you this. I'll tell you why the forgiveness and the forgiving your mom and all that was important for me. Why it's like a key thing because there's a spiritual aspect to this. There's a deep spiritual aspect to this. Darkness is taking over your mind. And that's why it's irrational, by the way. That's why it's like, why am I doing things that don't make sense? Because darkness has taken over your mind, man. And it just doesn't make sense for you to be beating up yourself over that. So if I could say anything, just drop that, you know. Either you failed the class, just do that for sure. But drop this little situation you're having over your class. You could just drop that because either you pass or you don't, right? There's no way around that. So just let that be. And it's not like it's over. It's not the end of the world if you don't. So you could drop that, if I may advise you on that. And then, but it's like you're asking me too. You asked me how do I let go of anger, and I'm trying to bring it back to that because it's a spiritual thing. So I personally see it as important. Maybe you could call Jesse about it. Yeah, man. You know, you're telling me you haven't forgiven your mother. You don't pray, and so it tells me that you're not equipped to. You're not equipped with the awareness to watch what I'm even trying to tell you about. And if I may, one last thing, because look, you asked me how do you like let go of anger. Look, I still get thoughts and I believe them, but I see that that's the only reason that I right get offended or anything like that. So I know that's all I have to say for you, basically. So, yeah.
Yeah, man.
You heard Jesse say, "Forgive your mom." Why didn't you do it? Out of curiosity.
I mean,
not like that you have to, or I'm testing you. I'm just wondering why. Maybe you saw not to. I'm wondering what. Maybe you're like, no, I don't believe that. Tell me what you think. Sorry.
Well, I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna I don't know how she will react because if I would have if I would have told her go up there and like one day and say, hey mom, I forgive you, you know, and stuff like that, and she will not believe me. Like she will say, man, whatever, we're crazy, you know. So
in this hypothetical, when you're imagining yourself going to talk to your mom about this and her not believing it, why are you going to her in the first place?
To forgive.
And in this, and are you, and is it authentic? Like it's something like, wow, I know I need to do it. It's true, I should, but she's just not going to understand.
Yeah, pretty much. I want to go and forgive my mom, my dad. You know, I want.
Yeah.
yeah, be better, improve myself, better myself.
But before the improving yourself, before any of that, do you really see? Do you like sincerely see that I am angry at my mother and I should forgive her?
I mean, yeah.
So that's something you see for yourself. You're like, yeah, I examined my life, my relationship with her. I'm like, I have resentment to her.
Like I gotta get rid of. I have to be born again. I gotta get rid of these, emotions,
Yeah.
overthinking, that kind of thing.
Think about it like this. If you, I'll just say this. Look, if that's what you see, why not just go with that? Because you're wondering how she's going to see it. But how she is going to respond, what does that have to do with what you've seen? You're seeing evil in yourself. You're saying to me, I resent her. And I heard Jesse say it. I heard these people say it. But when I heard it, I examined myself. And I'm like, wow, I resent her. What does that have to do with how she responds?
Oh. Oh man, I don't know how to answer that.
What does your
Kinda-
what does your seeing that you resent her and wanting to drop that, would that be affected at all by how she responds? Whether she responds understanding or confused or mad or sad or crying? Will any of her response affect that part where you're just trying to drop the resentment?
I would, no. I would think so, no. I mean, I don't know how to respond to this.
Yeah, maybe it's a strange
is it
question.
a-
It makes sense to me. I'm just, but you're sounding like you were saying no. You're saying no. It's her response is not going to affect you dropping the resentment. Like they're two different
Yeah,
things.
like, I don't know if I don't know if to say no or yes.
Well, don't just say. Just respond honestly. If you don't know, you don't know, or say yes or no. Here's how I see it, man. If I saw that I really resented someone, and I saw, and I read in the Bible, and I heard Jesse, and it made sense to me, and it's like, wow, I resent this person, and I'm wrong for that. I'm gonna drop that resentment by going to this person and saying, I'm sorry for resenting you. I'm wrong for that.
Mm-hmm.
That is the beginning and end of that. After I finish dropping the resentment and apologizing, how that person responds has nothing to do with me apologizing for the resentment. That's how I see it. And so if they cry, if they're happy, if they're sad, it has nothing to do with me dropping it, because that's two different things. Do you understand what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I see it. So what does her reaction have to do with your forgiveness? 'Cause you're saying you didn't want to do it because you're afraid of how she's going to react.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, man, it doesn't make sense. Right on.
But yeah, do you have any more advice? Like
No,
any more advice?
no, man, no. If you have any questions, absolutely, but no, nothing like that. Just what do you final thoughts on that? Like, do you see it differently now on
Yeah.
you being
I
afraid
see it
about her
differently.
reaction?
Well, I see it differently now. Like now, I have the confidence to go up to her and like forgive her and also forgive my dad.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because their reaction has nothing to do with you. You're dropping the forgiveness. If they get mad at that, it's like you misunderstood me, and you're not gonna judge them for that. You're gonna let them misunderstand you because you forgave them.
Yeah, man. I when I get home today afternoon, like after I do my plan, I do the silent prayer.
Right on, man. Rebuildingtheman.com
Yeah, man,
/ silent prayer. Very cool. Yeah, I do that every day.
And
So
I'll be tuning into Jesse's show tomorrow. Your show, 8. And I'll
nice
be
to hear
tuning
from you,
into,
Umberto.
Church on Sunday.
Very cool.
Yep. Well, I gotta head back to getting this work done. I'm taking a little break right now. I gotta go back inside.
Get her done. Call me back.
Yep. Thank you, Nick.
Take care, sir. 844-900-2229. Incredible. Rub some Punchy's coffee on it. You'll be fine. Should we sell Punchy's snake oil? Make it all old-timey? Rub it on that shoulder. Rub it on that wart. I want to get back to my calls. 844-900-2229. A bunch of you on hold here. Slenderman? What? Isn't that old? It was a good interview, no? You're talking still about Matthew Stephen Smith? Nick just probably need to forgive his mama. I know Jesse been trying to tell me. Just drop your anger, chat. I want my baby to learn something. Get Fuentes on the phone. He's been going on all these shows. It's time to get Fuentes on the JLP show. Bring him back. It was funny. I don't know if I can say. Never mind. Private things that happened at private dinners, with people you mentioned, but no, whatever. Whatever. Amazing. Thank you, chat. Hey, rumble.com/American Anchor, baby. My lovely viewers here, Jules Verne, Nick, get Path of Exile 2. You could join my guild. I help you. Is Path of Exile 2 sick? Because one thing I want is a complicated, upgrade system. Okay. And I know Path of Exile was like sort of famous for that. Was that continued? I never played the first one. Not very. Oh, it's very complicated. Nice. You got a guild? You could do guilds? Is it MMOE? Can we play with each other? Path of Exile 2? I'll look into it. Gear? Is there a little bit of a gacha, like sort of gacha, maybe a little bit of a fashion gacha? GACHA. It's an Asian thing, I think. Okay, sorry, folks. If there's one thing the Asians have done to gaming entertainment, it's like the micro purchase gacha, which is like a loot box kind of thing, but worse. We got some coffees here. We got buymeacoffee.com/anchor, baby. Thank you so much for the support, everybody. And we got Eric, man. Thank you for your super chats and your coffee. It's always interesting here. And generous. Eric says, Nick, you have a fast mind. You're quick at giving articulate responses to questions and current events. Why not choose a specific societal problem and pick it apart, dig deeper with your audience? I think this is good advice, chat. I mean, he's telling me to focus my power level here. I mean, if only I could focus. That's all you guys want me to do, huh? Focus the darn beam. Let's burn a hole in this thing. Why not choose a specific societal problem and pick it apart, dig deeper with the audience? I like it, Eric. Hammer it out repeatedly, purposely, intentionally, and watch what happens. It would be an interesting, interactive aspect to your show. Not the whole show, just a portion that you dedicate to solving a problem. And what if it produced results over time? Not a group fishing for dopamine hits by posting twisted comments in the chat, but a time to reel it in. A think tank, a collaborative effort towards solutions. Here's some ideas. Hey, great list here, man. Wait, I don't want to give away the code. No, these are great, man. These are awesome. Nuclear family, female promiscuity, population collapse, bars, club degeneracy, music, TV, popular culture, the myth of normal, what is trauma, how to overcome trauma. These are pretty good, man. I like a lot of these. I might have to go through these. Might have to pick one of these and just kind of go down the list. The ideas are percolating. I'm seeing the vision, man. It's becoming my own. Attack a problem with the intent to fix it. He has really good ones here. Look, death penalty. What is addiction? Crime, violence, chaos. Black culture equals rap culture. Okay, some of these are your topics for sure, Eric. But I get the idea. You're helping out here. No fathers, weak fathers. Diet and exercise. Okay, we're starting to put. I'm finally going Super Saiyan. It's no point in bragging. No point in talking about it. I haven't been making fanfare. But I'm finally going Super Saiyan chat. I'm pushing I'm getting close to past body weight in all my lifts. Okay. Diet and exercise. Walmart equals obese nation. Anger equals unconscious behavior. That's an interesting one too there, Eric, in the context of my last call too. Unconscious behavior. You unconsciously go into anger. You just arrive there. You could hear all the truth from the JLP show, but you need a little bit of help. You need the help to see it and stay seeing it. And it's, I think, I believe on simple sight, simple true awareness, you destroy evil. But I also went and forgave my mom though. That was deep for me. And I went and did it. Look. So I don't know, I'm just trying to not leave anything out for you. Give you my honest experience. Take what you will, do what you want. I went and did that. It's I got it. I was like, wow. And she's a nice lady. You think, wow, he's telling you to forgive your mama. You probably have this evil mom. I don't have an evil mom like you. My mom's a nice lady. She's super decent, but was super nice. All growing up, just a kind, nice lady. Whatever, So anyways, if you know, you know. Thank you for that, Eric. Attack a problem with the intent to fix it. Define the problem, offer a solution, and your listeners will chime in. We pick each other's solutions apart in good faith, a mutual collaborative effort to solve problems. That's entertaining, meaningful, has purpose, provides insight, and builds upon itself over time. Listeners become invested. I'm listening, Eric. Thank you for that, and I appreciate the support. Cool, Jules. I'm definitely listening to you too. Thank you. Cool. Lovely viewers. I want to get to this Voting Rights Act thing. There's a Trump announcement. I got callers on hold. Hold on, folks. What's the Trump announcement about? He's not on yet.
CIA.
Soon, President Trump will make an announcement. We are watching. We are monitoring the situation. I want to get to the voting rights thing, but I want to show love to the callers, and I appreciate that. We got, let me see here. I think we got California on the air. Hold on. California on the air. Who am I speaking with?
Can you hear me?
What's up, sir? How you doing?
Hey, I'm out on the air now.
You are on the air.
Yeah, sorry. It's Kristen, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
I recognize you. I was what name do I use? But Jesse uses both your names, so.
He called me little Nazi, but that's okay.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
No, I just wanted to ask you if you seen anything about Bernie Sanders lately on YouTube anywhere.
No, I haven't.
Well, he started talking about the middle class, how they're gonna die out because of AI. So he made this 10-minute video explaining that all your jobs gonna be done for, and this is a time of crisis. So if you know Bernie Sanders, he's always trying to pitch himself as the savior, for any class. Before it was the immigrants, but now that Trump, deleted those dependent people, he's gonna focus on the next rank of dependent people soon. That's what he's predicting anyway. So I just wanted to, cool to look into it. Kind of interesting because I'm dealing with AI too.
I was about to say, you're saying this as someone in an industry that there's looming whatever about AI doing such a thing.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't see it, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But I did wanted to say something about that previous caller because he's asking, the way I see it is I have a different kind of scenario in my head about forgiving your parents, and it's you remember Jesus when he had that rich guy come to him and say, "I want to join you," and then Jesus turns around to him like, "You gotta drop all your shit and follow me." And he's like, "Oh, I can't do that because it's good. I don't want to give up that." So, fair enough. Stay with it. I think resentment and attachments work the same way. They don't have to be good or bad. It can be either. But the fact that you have a connection with your mother first and foremost above everything else, because the first thing you see when you gain consciousness, right, is your mother. That attachment needs to be let go of. In other words, if that person would die, you wouldn't feel connected to them. And the only way you can do that is by forgiving them for everything they taught you. It was good enough, but it wasn't perfect, and you just acknowledge that and go to them and tell them, hey, it wasn't perfect, but appreciate it, goodbye. And in a spiritual sense, you are disconnecting that tie, that spiritual rope, and after that, everything else should be easier to let go of, So when thoughts do come and they're trying to tell you, look, you should care about this and care about that, it would be easier to disengage with it. So when you get angry, obviously you need a reason to get angry. The reason is a thought, and there's no other way to get angry but have a reason. But the reasons are attachments linked to the worldly world, the worldly sense. And because you cut the snake head off with your mother, it should be really easy in meditation to disengage the anger. So that's the way I see it. So
I hope that helps, man. I understand.
Jesus?
Go ahead. Sorry.
Do you want to follow Jesus, or do you want to stay with the worldly world and stay in your imagination, living by predictions that are not going to work out for you anyway? So
nice,
you have
man.
two choices. You either go with Jesus, where you don't know where he's going, but you're going to follow him, or you're going to stay where you are. So that's what you could tell the guy next time with the anger.
Right on, man. I appreciate that. So you went and forgave too?
Of course, man. I heard Jesse say it, and I went, hey, yo, dude, I'm going to check this out. So I went to my mom, all like cocky. I'm going to do this. I'm going to be free. And then as soon as I stood in front of her, I was like shaking like a leaf, like, and she's like, what's wrong with you? You sound like you want to kill yourself. I'm like, oh, shit.
And did you see that you were you saw that you were angry with her?
Yeah, I saw that. The anger doesn't have to be like, I'm fuming. It can be just a disagreement. With what they did.
Frustration,
disagreement,
weakness,
needs to be
guilt, wanting to please. Hey, I'm just not gonna say that because just make her mad.
Or even the style. I didn't like the style. This was done in, and all these judgments, right? And these disagreements, I had to let go of, and I had to tell her everything is forgiven, mother. Nothing that you did was not, was all done. It's in the dust. It doesn't exist anymore. So anyone behaves like my mother again, it wouldn't trigger me as much. Obviously with the meditation, I spot these things. Say, my mother does the same thing. Like my wife currently, she shouts like my own mother, like aggressive German Nazi woman. And, I
Wow,
met her
so
before,
Jesse's right again.
So, yeah, I met her before I met my mother.
Right.
I forgave my mother, so obviously something is coincidence there.
Yeah, man.
But it does happen, so. But
Yeah.
it doesn't. She doesn't bother me doing that, so it's very important that you yourself disconnect. And the only way you can disconnect is go to your mother, see that you have opinions about it, and forgive her for it.
It was the same for me,
So
man.
you
I
can
had to
follow
peel
Jesus,
it.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the same for me, man. I had to peel back all those little emotions and frustrations and this and that and peel it back and see it was fire. It was pure anger. It was evil, and I was wrong for holding on to that. And I think you got to see that it's anger. You got to see it's pure evil, because then then when you're tripping about, oh, will I fail this course or not, and get mad about it, you're like, wow, I am peddling evil as in control. This is evil. You got to see that. Right on, man. I appreciate your calling this. And I got the Bernie Sanders video on the deck. This is actually quite interesting the more I think about it.
Yeah, they just
Anything
want
else you wanna say?
dependent people. They want to create dependent people or whatever they can. Find some dependent people that can't help themselves and be independent. So independent people can't be controlled. So for votes, that's what it is about.
Right on, Christian. Hey, appreciate your call, man. Can you
All
call me
right.
again?
Yeah. All right. See you, Dick. Bye.
All right, peace. We'll get right back to calls here in a moment.
Thanks very much for joining me. In the midst of these unprecedented and crazy times, government shutdown, Trump's devastation of healthcare in America, climate change,
It's a human right.
the move toward authoritarianism, the horrific war in Gaza, the growth of oligarchy, etc., etc., etc. I want to take a few minutes talking about another issue of enormous consequence that just doesn't get the kind of attention I think it deserves. Everybody agrees that artificial intelligence, AI, and robotics are going to have a transformative impact on our country.
Everybody agrees. First question in mind. How do you know? How do you know what's going to happen, right?
And the world. There is very little disagreement about that. There are, however, very strong disagreements as to what those impacts will be. Who will benefit from these changes and who will be hurt. So here is my take. Some of the very wealthiest people in the world, including Elon Musk, Larry Ellison, Mark Zuckerberg, Jeff Bezos, and others, are now investing hundreds and hundreds of billions of dollars into these revolutionary, transformative technologies. Now, why is that? Why are they doing that? Is it because they want to improve the standard of living of the 60% of our people who live paycheck to paycheck? Americans who are struggling to pay for groceries, healthcare, housing, education? Maybe. Maybe they
Maybe. Hey, I like that he leaves. He's leaving space, right? He's like, is he a Christian?
are staying up nights worrying about the working families of America. But I doubt it.
It's like, are you? What are you doing to increase the living standard of Americans? Well, let me create another coalition and get people to, right, I'm here for the working class. Look, I've just heard this before, folks. I've heard this one before. It's like this wedge to say, well, do you think that Elon Musk cares about you? You could be, you'd maybe lose a lot. You're like, yeah, Elon cares about me making the living standard of me. You might lose people. That's one way of saying that. But you could say, yeah, you know what? They're not necessarily that's not necessarily their first thing. Pretty much everyone is for themselves, but including you, Bernie. So Elon's at least like, the whole world is taking up AI. Is it a big boondoggle? Will it be nuts? Some are saying, right? Will it be a nothing? Is it a new industrial revolution? I mean, what, you just want to sit around? It makes me think about my last caller. Like, are we just dependent people? We got to be able to stick and move here. What's going to change? So anyways, maybe our politicians should be focused on that, right? Instead of being like, these big corporate people hate you, vote for me, F them. It's like, they're making stuff. Why do you want to fight with the people making stuff? Maybe work with them. Be like, okay, guys, we got workers and they need to feed families, and you guys want to change the world. Let's all think about it together. But it's like, no, they're evil. Vote for me because they're the people making stuff. I mean, it's an old story, right? It's just I've heard this one. The working class, unions. It makes sense to me when we just talk about intellectually. Take care of the worker, but it's just like, it's more of this communism stuff. I think it matters more the specific people and what they're into, not like what party. Sometimes, I mean, the party matters and their like leaning matters, but when we're looking at across the world and even outside of politics as well, outside of the government, I think it matters more to look at individuals and how they are. Like, who is Elon Musk? Who is Bernie Sanders? And what are they really into? Who are they really? We got Texas. John, how you doing, John?
That came out of nowhere, that beep. I was like, what?
Beep. Zach. Welcome, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well, sir. Today, I was watching the JLP show with the guest, Michael. Right, remember that?
Yes,
that
I do.
Today.
Nice.
That, and now this is going to be, I've always been around conspiracy theorists. My dad was a conspiracy theorist. And I think I'm like kind of have a, like, I wouldn't say I'm like dialed in, but maybe I am dialed in or not. But I may be dialed into something here. I think there's a new conspiracy.
Go ahead.
I think there's a new conspiracy on like of our generation. Okay, I was class of 2012. I think you were class of 2012. Our
Class
generation.
of 2012.
High school, like
Oh,
our age group.
yeah, I'm following you.
Right. Primary school. Anyway,
Yep.
I think there's a new conspiracy, and that conspiracy is that, like, we need to have some kind of permission to believe in in God and believe in Jesus, etc.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that our generation, because we don't have that permission to believe in this stuff, we kind of have our own thoughts and ideas that we coagulate into the ether that just occupy our minds.
And where are you seeing this?
Well, this is like in the ether of conversation and social media, and even before social media in like high school,
What's
we
the
would have
ether?
our own like beliefs. The ether is like consciousness, like a collective, like definition would be a collective of ideas and beliefs and thoughts. So we will just like have thoughts and beliefs, and then when we come in contact with Jesse, we're just shocked, or we're just like rattled out of it, where it's like, hold on. Because Jesse offers that permission. Well, God really offers that permission when you forgive, but Jesse offers it, today. But because it's so like not what's going on today. So what today's thought, today's ideas, today's beliefs, that's the ether.
Following.
But when you come into with Jesse, right? It's like, well, this is like the old stuff. This is like wrong. But what we really are just saying is that I need permission to think. I need permission to like really, really, really think, like really be open.
Yeah, man, the
And
truth
it's a
has that effect. Oh,
conspiracy.
sorry.
Go ahead. It's a conspiracy.
The truth has that
A new
effect.
conspiracy.
Yeah, the truth has that effect. It can, it gives you the courage to think independently for real. It's like, wow, I can actually do that. Hold on. Oh, excuse me. But can you give me an example of what you're saying of people needing permission to believe as you're describing? Can you give me an example of what you mean?
Well, I'm gonna have to go here soon. I'll give you an example, but
If you got to go, I
I'm
understand.
about to see a movie. But this is the example.
Go ahead.
Is that, for one, let's just look at all the conspiracies out there. Jews are controlling the media, and that's a whole level of consciousness. Well, you can dwell in that consciousness, but someone has to show you the way out of that consciousness. To something, someone has to help you out. And this might not be just our generation. But if we're going to talk about it, you and I are going to talk about it, we have to talk about our generation. But this might be every generation where there's a conspiracy to, dwell in a level of consciousness and like make that work. But this is all kind of like ethereal and nebulous, and you can understand it.
Maybe when you have more time, you can
follow.
give me an example of, because I'm following this a little bit here and there, but an example of how, because you're saying people hear Jesse and it feels like they got this permission now to believe, this permission now to think independently, and I wanted an example of the opposite. So I understand you got to go, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I'm in a movie, so.
No
People are
problems.
looking
Call
at
me again,
like,
John.
Why are you on the phone?
You're at a
Like,
movie?
shut up, I'm in a movie.
Go watch the movie. Thanks for your call, John. Nice. Is he in the middle of the movie? That's hilarious. That's awesome. I shouldn't support such a thing, like have manners, right? That my audience should have decorum. Okay. Let me give you an example of the opposite of decorum. Standing up in a movie theater, which I hope this is what happened out of pure comedy, out of just knowing this happened and just like pure comedy, but I don't support this because it's not decorum. But sometimes you have no decorum. It's okay. You call into the show, it's okay. But you know about decorum. I'll tell you about what's not decorum. Standing up in a movie theater, calling the Anchor Baby show, if that's what happened. That's awesome. And he didn't step out of the theater. That'd be hilarious, Ivana. And they're like, and he's like, and they're looking at me like, get off the phone. 844-900-2229. That's John. That's our friend. He had Nick on speaker. That'd be awesome. Decorum. Click the like button. What are you, a rude person that doesn't care about society? You're just looking at people stabbing on the subways. You're like, I don't care. You're like, I'm not telling you to be emotional. I'm not telling you to be emotional, but why are you part of the problem? Why are you going to be part of the problem? Like you could just let go of society completely now. Click the like button. That's what everybody else did. You're coming in here. You're not going to click the like button. So you're cool with people killing people on subways. You're part of the problem. That's what you're trying to tell me. Or you're going to click the like button. I don't know. You just got two options here. Nick, bless you. I heard the sneeze from the bathroom. I ran to my phone at once to relay this message. God bless you and your loved ones. Back at you, chat. Back at you, everybody. Thank you. We got some coffees here from Eric. I appreciate that. Says, to the caller asking for advice. To let go of anger, you have to see that it's not you. You don't think. You don't feel. You have never been angry. Only the ego has feelings. The ego only exists in the mind. Satan owns the mind. You can't think your way to perfect peace. You have to know everything is perfect and that you are at peace in the presence of God. Slow down. He says, silent prayer. The silent prayer is everything. The reason why you can't commit to it, it's because you're lost in thought, which means you're possessed by the devil. Commit to the silent prayer and learn stillness is all that exists. Nothing is happening. Everything you believe is an illusion. That's from Eric. Hope that helps. So demanding, Nick. Jeez. It's the only way to get you people to work. When people feel pain is when they move on policy. Like Jay Jones said, and the left was fine with that. But you get a couple of young white, I don't know what they're Chads. I don't know if they're Chads or not, but talking some mess in a private group chat. And they're like, what? I heard like, look, I saw, remember Governor Kathy Hochul wants to investigate them? Gavin Newsom. All these people are coming out saying we need to investigate these people and Republicans and use the weight of the government. So they're not like nice people. Like,
they should just be moved to the middle of the Gobi Desert and shot.
Anyways, whatever that was. So Trump is supposed to be making an announcement. We're watching. We've not seen the president yet. It says soon President Trump will make an announcement. What is it about? Trump announcement. What the H is happening? What's the announcement? Guess we'll see.
Some form of term limits, and also
Okay. Talking heads, not the president. We got a little bit here with you. We got a little bit more with y'all here. Nick, tell us what happened with those dinners. Oh gosh. Oh, that's so déclassé. That's so déclassé. Gregory. That's just not what you do when you're running in these circles. I mean, that's just not what you do, Gregory. I saw this message while in the bathroom and ran to smash the like button. Thank you. People have decorum. Francisco. Spill it, ankle. Déclassé. I know. Where were we? Let's wait for Trump a little bit here. You know, what did I want to do here? What were the most important things here? Kind of talked about what I wanted to talk about. I did have a number of things here. A number of things, in fact. And I think what it was, I mean, essentially, I think the other important thing was the voting rights thing. And let's see here. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Now, what is going on with all that? What's happening? What could happen to the Voting Rights Act? What's going on? Louisiana's year-long redistricting. Wait, let's keep an eye on Trump. Louisiana's years-long redistricting saga finally reached the Supreme Court, and the outcome could reshape future elections. The legal fight began when civil rights groups sued the state over a 2022 congressional map that left just one of 6 districts majority black, even though black residents make up a third of Louisiana's population. A federal judge agreed, prompting lawmakers to add a second majority black district. But then plaintiffs identifying as non-African American argued the new map relied too much on race. Now the justices must decide if Louisiana's map crosses the line into unconstitutional racial gerrymandering. During oral arguments yesterday, the conservative justices questioned how long race should continue to be a factor in redistricting. Okay. Analysts say the justices appeared poised to limit the Voting Rights Act, the landmark civil rights law that bars racial discrimination in voting. If that happens, states could rush to redraw maps before the 2028 elections, potentially erasing dozens of Democratic-held seats in the South. The shift could also reduce the number of minority representatives in Congress and state legislatures. A ruling isn't expected until June, so any changes likely won't affect the 26 midterms. Wait, but why does it mean that? I'm following that at some point they made racial gerrymandering illegal, right? And gerrymandering now. That is, right, that's basically redrawing redrawing districts, right? Gerrymandering, the manipulation of an electoral constituency's boundaries so as to favor one party or class. So, is just non-racial gerrymandering allowed? Like, I get racial gerrymandering not allowed. That makes it sound like regular gerrymandering is allowed. Drawing lines to favor one political party is not banned by the federal constitution. The Supreme Court ruled in 2019 that it's a political question beyond the reach of federal courts. However, some states ban or restrict it in their own constitutions or laws, like California. Partisan gerrymandering. So it's not the federal government's purview. How a state wants to draw their districts, and if they choose to do it by party line, and at some point if they chose to do it by race, but now you can't. The feds had no say in it. It's not their purview. And then the states can do it how they want, and in fact they continue to do so even today. California, as we're learning, bans not only racial gerrymandering, which here, if we're extrapolating all this, if although the federal government's like, that's not our business, you want to gerrymander how you want, I bet you the feds do have a say if it's racial gerrymandering. Like, that's a big no-no, right? And I bet you to California, partisan gerrymandering is akin to racial gerrymandering of yesteryear. Yeah, okay. Racial gerrymandering is just federally not allowed. The 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, specifically Section 2, forbids voting practices, including district maps, that dilute or weaken the voting power of racial or language minority groups. So here's the significance of the voting rights. Now I am understanding why the ladies at the Skim are describing why analysts feel like the changes to the Voting Rights Act would end up with different districts, right? That's what I was trying to understand. Here we go. Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. It forbids voting practices, including district maps, that dilute or weaken the voting power of racial or language minority groups. There are federal laws and so bada bing. This is what you were talking about, right, Cecil? But I have a problem with that already. Like, there's a couple of levels here. I guess starting from racial gerrymandering, which is the bigger point, the more difficult one, I guess, but I'll start there. That's already wrong to tell people, states, right? To tell states and tell people that they can't associate how they want. Okay? That's why they were doing it at some point. And that's why the feds were like, that's not our place. You guys want to do it how you want. And if this state wants to say, no, we don't gerrymander by race, then so be it. So that's already wrong, right? In my opinion. But you got to understand, the way this is built, it's like, wow, they're trying to dilute blacks. But blacks were unfairly, for false reasons, right? Racism. Given majority black districts. You understand? So this is just false. Them saying like, well, you're just trying to, I don't know, erase black people. What are you trying to say? Dilute them so they don't get to vote. That's just not true. I don't know. I that's not quite how I see it. Because look, a federal judge agreed, prompting lawmakers to add a second majority black district. Why did they do that? They agreed with what? The legal fight began when civil rights groups sued the state over a 2022 congressional map that left just one of 6 districts majority black. A federal judge agreed. Like, yeah, you know what? That's wrong. But why? Why do you have to have majority black districts? I don't know. Let's talk about it. Who do I have on the line? Who do I have on the air?
Hey, man, can you hear me?
I got you. Is this Michigan?
Yes, it is.
Welcome to the show, sir. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, man? My name's Alan. What's your name?
Alan, man. Thanks for calling back. How you doing?
Oh, yeah, I was on here before. Yeah, my bad. I didn't know if you would remember me. Yeah, how you doing, dude?
All's well, sir.
Yes, sir, I like it. It's good to hear. So, yeah, I've listened,
Are you on speakerphone, man? It's hard to hear you.
Oh, my bad, bro. Wait, one sec. Nah, is it any better right now?
Way better, man. Thank you. Go ahead.
Nah, it's because it's my fuck ass earbuds, bro. They don't like to. Sometimes they just don't like to have a good connection.
Yeah, those are terrible.
Nah, my bad. Yeah. So I'm hearing what you talked about. I appreciate the fact you actually read through the Voting Rights Act and kind of got a thing of it. So I guess I'm kind of confused about what your concern is. So you don't think that, do you not understand why they would want a black majority district? Are you confused on that? Are you confused on why it's like a federal thing?
Well, no, I don't think I was confused.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like they were. It sounds like the government gave them a majority black district through welfare, in a sense. It was a DEI district, and they gave them more. They gave them more. They gave them more because they were like, but it's racism. We should have those. And now they're like, let's redistrict for whatever reason, in this way. And they're like, what? That's racist.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. I get what you're saying. Do you know why the Voting Rights Act was put in place in the first place?
I have a general idea.
Yeah, so I mean, in its most basic sense, in the Deep South, back in the, I can't even call it back in the day. It was like less than 60 years ago. They had the practice of gerrymandering that would make no majority black districts. They had poll taxes, a lot of things that we've put amendments to stop them because of how so basically the way that it worked was that you would have all white majority districts, so they would only elect really racist white people to be in charge of the district so they could keep segregation. Do you get it? That's why it got put in place. So during the Johnson administration, they finally
you said what got put in place for that?
The Voting Rights Act, as well as citing the 14th Amendment for.
But wait, and then but you were citing who was put in power? Racist people were put in power.
Lyndon
You
B.
said
Johnson was in the Deep South and between 1910 and 1960. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was just wanting you to repeat that. I just wanted you to repeat yourself. I just want to get it straight.
Oh yeah, but you get. I'm just saying, I don't think it doesn't have anything to do with DEI. It has everything to do with the fact that they literally could not vote. So we put a fail-safe in place to make sure the minorities get a say. And if that comes out to just being one district that has the black voice of the area, then just how it works out. It really hasn't changed much in the way of American politics. As you can see, we're still majority white, majority male. You know.
So people were.
System.
So you're telling me the blacks were voting then?
Eventually?
No,
What
like
do you mean?
before the Voting Rights Act.
No, the majority of them in the Deep South were. So the way the gerrymandering works is that even if you do have a vote, it's basically pointless. So a lot of them just refused to, and they started protesting it, and they didn't like that either. So a lot of them just ended up not voting, and it changed the voting demographics in such an immeasurable way that once the civil rights movement started really getting steam, especially after Kennedy's assassination and Johnson was put into power, they finally did something about it. That's really all it is. It really doesn't have anything to do with it was a nonpartisan bill. Like everyone agreed. Back in the day, everyone was like, yeah, okay, we got to stop doing this.
So what's your point?
Because you're taking out. My point is that I don't think you should be as upset with it as you are. 'Cause
Who
it's
says I'm
just been
upset?
Precedent. I don't know. I guess I'm confused on
I
why
was just showing
you
the news. I was just
are-
I was just reading this article and talking about the news. It sounded like some
Okay,
people
fair
were
enough.
saying,
Well, I guess
and I was reacting to what some people. It sounded like some people were saying, like this was like some terribly racist thing. But it's funny because you're telling me, are you essentially telling me that it's wrong to racially gerrymander?
Yeah, of course I'm saying that.
And
I
you're
think it's
and
wrong
you're
to
using
gerrymander
and
in
you're
general.
invoking the 1965 Act, and you're telling me all this history and being very educational to basically tell me racial gerrymandering is wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that there was a precedent.
Is
There's a
that what you're
reason why.
saying?
It's not like they just
Is that what
won't-
you're saying?
Yeah, but it's not like they won't.
Is that what you're
To
saying?
an extent, I'm just that gerrymandering is wrong. Yeah, I hate
That
gerrymandering.
racial
I think that we should
gerrymandering is
have
wrong?
federal
Is that?
prohibition.
I'm just trying to get you straight here. Are you telling me all that to make the point that racial gerrymandering is wrong?
I suppose so.
So then you're the one who should not be so mad about this article. I mean, I'm not mad. I'm just presenting the news. So it's you who shouldn't be so upset because look, they're removing the racial gerrymandering. There's like let's redistrict these, and they're saying no, leave us our black districts. It's racist otherwise. Ketanji Brown Jackson coming out saying blacks are disabled. They're basically like disabled people. We got to help them and give them their districts. So it's you who should not be so mad, right? They're getting rid of the racial gerrymandering, sir. Isn't that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm not upset.
Oh, cool.
I was just confused
Nice.
on why you took. Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm cool as cucumber, brother.
So you're
Apparently
cool
you
with
are too. I just
you're
don't-
cool with what's happening with the Voting Rights Act and the possible Supreme Court action and the possible redistricting and the removal of these black districts, if I'm following this story correctly.
Oh, is that where this was going? Oh, I see now. No, I think that they should be kept in place because it doesn't oppress white people even slightly.
But you
Would
said
you- I
if
mean, I
racial
guess-
gerrymandering is wrong. You're saying it.
But it's
You're
not
philos-
racial gerrymandering. Having one
Aren't they-
or two black districts in an entire state is not going to affect the politics that I think in the way you think they will.
Oh,
It just
I'm
it's
maybe
just
a
how it goes.
misunderstanding. It sounds
don't
like you're
know.
saying two things. Help me understand. It sounds like you're
I'm
talking out of both
confused.
sides
Is
of
this
your
supposed
mouth.
to be- Is this supposed to be a gotcha?
No, it's not a
I'm not
gotcha. I'm
upset.
giving
I
you the
don't
floor to
understand.
explain yourself, so it's definitely not a
Oh,
gotcha.
so you're saying that? Oh, so you're saying that I'm contradicting myself by saying that black, like redistricting in favor of black people is also racist?
Well, I don't think it's racist, but it's
That's a
you're the one
contradiction
that's
that you
saying. I'm not saying it's racist. I don't think it's racist, but you're saying that that's wrong to like divide by race using these districting rules. Help me out here. I'm clearly ignorant, but look, you're telling me that's wrong, and then they're but these people are complaining for the opposite of what you're saying. They're saying they should have these black districts, and that the removal of that is wrong for some reason. Isn't that what's going on?
Yeah,
So tell me.
I'm confused. I think that if we take away voting power from minorities, I think that's a bad thing. Therefore, I'm not a big fan.
And how do you
of this
maintain that voting
underhanded
power for those minorities? By racially gerrymandering and dividing in the method you said was wrong?
So the concept of gerrymandering, do you understand what gerrymandering means? Like where it comes from?
I think I do.
Because gerrymandering isn't redistricting. They're not the same thing. Gerrymandering is specifically when you redistrict to give yourself political power.
Yeah, we went through the definition. I was about to say that.
Right,
But
right.
Nice, you
so
got it.
I'd say that yes, these redistricting efforts to try to gentrify these areas event in the long run will lead specifically to more Republican votes, and therefore more Republican districts, and therefore less voices for the Democratic minorities in there, which wouldn't necessarily be a problem if that was already precedent, but being that we already kind of did something about this, it's odd that we want to kind of go back to the original system of it. That's what I disagree with. I don't think it has even anything to do with the concept of race. I think it
But
has
even
everything
in
to
what
do
you
with
just said,
protecting minorities.
even in what you just said,
Yeah.
but even in what you just said, you know,
Mhm.
you're saying, but it's wrong to take away this voting power of these people. Why can't it be? Where is that for? Where is that for the people that are there, like the Republicans you mentioned? You just don't want more Republicans?
They
What if
already
they're
have
what if they're the
power.
majority?
No,
Here's
they-
how I'm understanding it, unless you might tell me otherwise, it might educate me. What's going on there essentially is blacks don't have that voting power because they don't have that kind of population in those districts. Essentially, like they are like even in 2025 rules with civil rights and the Voting Rights Act, they don't. When you do the math, the Republicans still win. So so you're telling me that's still not fair? That's still not fair because minorities. It sounds to
No, I
me
think
like the
it would be
Republicans
unfair
are
to
winning
say.
fair and square in today's rules, but you're not happy about it. Help me understand why.
No, I
You're
agree.
saying
Yeah, they're unfair and
more
square.
Republicans shouldn't be winning. We should because they're taking away minorities'
that's not what I
votes.
said.
How is that happening? Help me understand.
No, Republicans are winning fair and square, and I'm totally okay with that, regardless of how I
And
agree
are
with
they
it. That's
taking
how our
minorities'
society runs,
votes?
and that's why I love it. Have they or will they?
Is that what's happening in Louisiana? Are they taking away from the minorities' votes and their power? That's what you said. You said, I don't like it when
If they
minorities'
choose
power is
to
taken
do
away.
so.
I'm paraphrasing. You might have said it a little different.
Yeah, if they choose to, it seems the way that they're going with it. If they choose to, and they've already set a precedent that the state isn't going to do anything about it, then yes, that opens the door for a lot of unjust gerrymandering against anyone, really. And I think that everyone.
No,
should
but
be
in this
afraid of these
case,
things.
how
At
is
the
that
end of the day,
happening?
Would you like if they did that?
In this case, how is that happening?
I don't get it.
In this case in
think?
Louisiana, how is what you said happening?
I don't know much about this case in Louisiana. I just want.
Oh,
to make
so
sure
you
that
don't
we're
even
on the
know.
same page about it. Yeah, I'm not going to pretend like I do.
Oh,
I'm
man.
going to say that based on the stuff that I have learned about this case, then yeah, it sets a dangerous precedent. That's all I'm saying.
No, Nick. The Democrats have been
Anyone
winning
that is
only.
willing-
Hold on, I got a question from you from my a comment for you from my chat here. No, the Democrats have been winning only because of gerrymandering those black districts. Is that so? Am I correct in
that's
my
not the
instinct here
definition of
that there was an initial redistricting that was given to them because of civil rights and racism and all that?
No, it wasn't like they just gifted them a gerrymander.
I know you don't like that. I shouldn't put it that way, but that's just how I'm putting it. That might not be fair. That might not be fair. Like
Wait,
it's
do
like a
you-
gifted to
okay,
them, but
yeah, I think that.
but did that happen at least?
You keep saying that as if you don't agree with that. So are you
That I don't agree with what?
for racial gerrymandering?
I think
Do you
people
not see
should
a
be
problem with
allowed
it?
to associate how
It's
they
okay if you
wish.
don't. Let's
That
just-
includes race.
What'd you say? Oh,
I
sorry,
believe
missed that.
people should be allowed to associate how they'd like. That includes race.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we did talk about this. Yeah, that's totally fine. Do you think that? Well, let me just put it like this: do you live in a majority white neighborhood, city, whatever, district?
I
Like,
don't.
do you know the
I don't
boundaries
really
of your
know.
congressional district?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No. I think.
Do you know what
no.
district you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's L.A.
First of all, I'd
proper.
recommend
L.A.
looking it up.
proper.
It's actually really
It's not that it's not that hard.
Oh, word. Yeah, okay. Would you, I mean, so you live in you'd say a majority white household, or neighborhood.
You said what? I don't think so.
Would you, no?
I'm pretty
All
sure
right,
I
fair
don't.
enough. Would you appreciate,
quite enough.
I guess, so the point of gerrymandering, so it comes from, it's a portmanteau it's a long history, it doesn't even really matter. But gerrymandering is different than redistricting, so typically the way that we want to district is
No, I know that. We went through the definition, buddy. Thank you. I know you went to school, but we went to the definition.
No, I didn't-
Gerrymandering is
no,
different from
I'm not
redistricting. We went through before you
Right,
called,
so it-
we went
so
through the definition. Thank you,
yeah,
man.
the point of the point is gerrymandering is to create long and just weird-looking districts that don't look that bad on a map until you look into them. So, like, an example of gerrymandering would be your house and your street, right, being like this long tail of a square district that is mostly black. So you go and saying your vote wouldn't mean shit if you don't agree with the majority. You know, that would be gerrymandering, and I'm sure that wouldn't make you feel very good. So at the end of the day, if anyone wants
and where is that happening? Right, we went through the definition, and so. We already went through the definition, and I already asked you a question about that, which you did not have the answer to because you actually had no idea. But I'll ask it to you again. And so, where is that happening here in Louisiana? Because I think we can agree. I think we can agree that we don't like that. Sure, you're asking me, would you like that to happen to you? Maybe not. I don't want to be too fast to agree, but fine. But where is that happening here?
Yeah, I'm not even really speaking on a specific example. I was just wondering your thoughts on it in general.
There you go.
Thanks for sharing.
So you just want to see if we agree on the golden rules. Would you be nice if it came down to it? How about it, Alan? I'll tell you, yes, I'll do my best to be nice if it came down to it. I don't like gerrymandering. So where's that happening here?
Once again, I don't think it's incredibly pertinent to this conversation. I feel what you're saying. I'm not gonna do the thing that a lot of people do and pretend like I know something that I don't. I'll be mature about it. I don't know.
Fair enough, man.
Give you a minute, like maybe.
Yeah.
There's a point.
I do. Yeah, that's basically my daily show.
Yeah,
hey,
no word.
That's basically my daily show. Hey guys, no, that's not exactly true, but you know, like I do that a lot. Like, hey, I don't know this, guys, and I'm wrong about that.
Yeah.
So Alan,
I love it.
What can I say, man? I know Trump is doing this like live thing right now. I want to show the folks, but you know, since I mean, I almost forgot what I wanted to ask you, man. I do appreciate your calls. What can I say?
Yeah,
you know, we talked about Haiti last time. Do you call in random shows? Did you just find my show randomly? That's what I wanted to ask you. I didn't get a chance to ask you.
Oh yeah, I think you just kind of popped up. I think I subscribed to you, so it just kind of showed up on my feed. So I was like, yeah,
that's awesome. Are you familiar with Jesse Lee Peterson, by the way?
Jesse whom?
Jesse Lee Peterson.
No, I don't. Who's that?
Most people find my show through him because I'm on his network, so it's cool to hear from you, man. I super appreciate the
Oh really? Yeah, no.
the
It's just showed up.
challenge.
Yeah, of course. I like supporting this shit. I love supporting these creators.
Yeah, man. I like
and
the
even just
challenge.
having conversations with you guys.
Big
I have
time.
just one thing for you though.
All right, go ahead.
Because of what we talked about last time. Did you look into the formerly colonized African countries you said that are doing better because of the white man?
Yeah, yes, I did, in fact. And you know what? To summarize, to be somewhat brief, basically what I arrived to essentially is that if I wasn't trying to make a point, which is not essentially always for truth, but I think it has its place, and
of course.
I think people understood me what I was doing. But if I wasn't trying to make a point, I don't think it's exactly fair to say like it's put it like this. It's not cut and dry that all these places were better. You have to be a little bit more distinguishing. If I told you, if the question was more like, oh, the places I mentioned that were colonized, they were left with infrastructure. They were left with these systems and all that, and those were positives. I think you can make the argument. Essentially, to summarize, is I think you can make the argument for what I was saying, and you can also make the argument against it. I think that's a fair arrival to that. But you know, that's my point. My like point that I was making, it still stands. I mean, you want to go back to apartheid, and it's like, look at all these terrible things. It's like, let's look at today, bro. Like, you want to tell me, oh, South Africa, it's like so bad what happened to them, the apartheid. Stop talking about apartheid. They're chanting "kill the Boer" today, and it's that same anger and just radicalism in this like angry way that is really the problems of South Africa. You want to look at Haiti and tell me, Nick, they had a French Revolution. Don't you know the history of the slave colonies? It's like, shut up. They are killing each other today. And they're, you know, I'm being a little, I'm hamming it up, man. Nothing personal. And
I get you. No, I get it.
It's like, no, I don't want to hear it. It's like, let's be real. They killed the white man, and they're worse off today, worse than ever.
I'm saying that it's a gross mischaracterization of it, and I recommend. I don't know.
But they tell me otherwise every day.
I really would like to know.
They grossly mischaracterize
Who?
it in a way worse way. The world does in the other way every day. They say the white man's at
You
fault
think
for all
that
this stuff.
You genuinely believe that Boers in South Africa are actually at risk of a hostile segregation takeover?
You say that like
think
they're
they
not
actually could
chanting.
have-
You say that like they're not in stadiums. And you say that as if like you wouldn't turn around and tell me, Nick, don't you know the history? Don't you know that before they started killing them, they had to dehumanize them first? Don't you know anything about genocides? First they have to dehumanize them and then the killing comes. And you say that so easily, like as if they're not filling up stadiums chanting, kill the farmer, kill the white man, kill the Boer.
Where'd that come from? I haven't seen that video. Yeah, you're right.
Look it up.
Where'd that video come from? Okay.
Do your homework. That's what they're doing. They're filling up stadiums in South Africa. It's called the ANC. You're familiar with them. You're familiar with Malema, maybe? What's his name? Julian Malema? Look up Julian Malema, member of the National Assembly of South Africa, and how he fills stadiums with people chanting, kill the Boer, kill the white man, kill the farmer. So, you say, where you really believe like they're really at risk of anything? It's like, again, I'm repeating myself. You say that like as if what I just said is not happening, but it is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun thing, isn't it?
What, kill the Boer?
Well, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, no, I just looked into it. Yeah, you're right. That's fine.
That's crazy, right? And so, here's what we're about. Here's what we're.
But once again, and I agree with you. No,
We're not.
That's fucked
yeah.
up. I wouldn't agree with that.
And I believe that
But I
anger.
also,
Go ahead.
Disagree. I still also disagree with your claim that Africa's better off because of Europeans.
Well,
most people disagree.
is having-
I'm
let
glad
me-
that you have that opinion because it's really interesting, and I'm
Yeah.
happy to get some dissidence on that. But like, you might be one of the only people that genuinely believe that, and I just find that interesting. I'm serious.
Fair enough.
Even
Hey,
like the most hardcore Republicans can still admit that, like, at the end of the day, the infrastructure we left them wasn't exactly country building material, and we
but
already extracted. all the
What
resources
about it
from
was
the
not
exact-
country building material? What about leaving
about
railroads?
Liberia?
What about leaving railroads, streets? The system and the framework for society is not society building. Help me understand.
So leaving a railroad, good example, fantastic example. What do you need for a railroad to work?
I
You need to put on those rails.
trains.
You put trains on them, exactly, right? How do
Yes.
trains run? What do we use for energy for trains?
Coal and stuff. I think. I'm thinking of
Exactly.
old timey
So-
people shoveling stuff into like a thing.
Yeah, exactly. And we still
Uh-huh.
do that. Most
Okay.
trains, especially in these areas. So this is the most perfect example because I agree with you. The infrastructure level, I suppose, in some areas, for the record, most of it is just a desolate desert. So the way that a lot of the decolonization efforts ended up is that once the Europeans finally recognized independence, they kept private-owned businesses around the resource mines and stuff that they were that's the reason why we were in Africa in the first place. Was for their abundant resources and their lack of what's the word, fight back potential. I mean, that's fair. So when the Europeans leave, and they leave a bunch of abandoned railroads, but they also keep control of the things that would run those railroads, do you think that those railroads mean anything to the society if they still have to pay premiums to the Europeans
And
to
they-
access the resources that they have on their land? You get what I'm saying?
I think you
'Cause I
still
don't think
can.
that leads to a good country building material.
I don't know. I think you still can.
Yeah, with money.
I think it happens
With
all
money.
the time.
Why do you
I'm
think
thinking of
Africans
sanctions
still
right
fuck
now.
up
I'm
then?
thinking
Do you
of
think that
I'm
they
thinking of
just did this
sanctions
on
as a
their own?
parallel.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Is that not fair? Tariffs and sanctions. Let's be real. Not even tariffs. That's not fair. But sanctions. I mean, these societies run.
Sure, but if
You're telling me because you got you're telling me because Iran is sanctioned, they're going to let their airport fall into disarray?
Yeah, if they run out of money, yeah.
But they won't.
don't think they
don't
will
know.
because
I don't know.
it's
Maybe
not
it's
that
a
hard.
maybe it's a weird. Maybe that's a bit of a stretch. But like that's how I was thinking about it.
Well,
Like
let me put it
there's
like this.
it.
Okay,
One
so
does
you're
not
living in
preclude
a
the
nice
other. Is all
house.
I'm
You're
saying.
living in a
One does not preclude the other. Just because you're getting hit with the taxes and all that doesn't mean you should let your railways go to disarray. They had trains. They had the stuff to make it work,
But
or at least the
okay,
opportunity.
let me
And
put
here,
it like this. This
and
is a fun
go ahead.
analogy. This is a fun
And then we
analogy.
gotta go, man, because we're like
Imagine-
way over time, man. But go ahead.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I just want to hear your opinion on this. So imagine you're living in a home, right? You're living in a decent house. You know, it's not great.
Mhm.
It's not awesome. Your toilet's kind of broken, whatever. Your sink might, the garbage disposal doesn't work. There's little fixer-uppers, but you have no money. Let's say you have $200 left in your bank account, right? And a guy comes into your house. He knocks on your door, and he says, "All right, I'm here to help you." And you say, "Okay, great." He comes in and he surveys your stuff, right? And he says, "Okay, so here's the thing. It's going to cost $400 to fix all of this, right?" And you go, "I don't have that money." And then he goes, "Ooh, well, you know what you can do? If you give me $175, then I'll come back and I'll fix it for you right now. If you give me that and then you give me the rest of the money later, that's all good." So obviously you want to fix your house, right? So you give him the money. And then he comes back and he doesn't fix it. But he says, "If you pay me $5 every week, then I'll come back and fix it." And you only have $25 left, so you only have 5 weeks for this guy to actually follow through on his deal, right? And eventually, at the end of that 5 weeks, if he didn't do anything, you're broke, and you're relying entirely on the person that came in and took your money in the first place to come back and fix it. And if they choose not to fix it, you have no leverage over them, right?
Sounds
So
like
now
a scam.
you're broke and nothing got fixed. And you're
Sounds like a
still
scam.
waiting on the person that came in to fix it. And if a lot of European countries chose to just never go back
I understand,
because
man.
of the legality of the treaties and stuff. Do you get what I'm saying?
I kind of
That's the
do,
best
and
analogy
look,
I
I'll
can
tell
come
you
up
this. I'll tell you this. That's the what you described sounds like a total scam, and I want you to, if you could, man, could you call me back
Yeah.
sometime? We're over time. Call me back because I'd love for you to give you the floor to, take the story
great.
the picture you just painted and give you the floor to connect it with, help me understand intellectually, connect it with how the English did that to the people you're talking about, or etc. We just don't have the time
okay, yeah,
for
no
that.
word. I just wanted to make you think a little bit.
Yeah, no,
And
I
also,
totally
yeah,
see
appreciate it.
I see the picture you painted, and then when you put it like that, sounds like a scam. I'd like to give you the floor next time to make
Yeah.
it fit for me how the colonialists did that, and like make it all fit for me. Because it's cool. I like the
Word.
challenge, man. Alan, man, I super appreciate your call. Can you call me again?
Yes, sir. You have a good day.
Bye now. I love Alan. I just like I like callers wanting to talk. It's like, what are you talking about, man? You don't know what you're saying. You're like, okay, maybe I don't know what I'm saying, but like, let's talk about it. Alan's kind of into the racism thing, I think. Hey, we'll get back to all this. I do want to say thank you to my supporters and my callers here. I'm sorry I can't get to all of you. Thank you, everybody. Rumble.com/American Anchor Baby. All of my supporters on YouTube. Thanks for all the super chats and all that. We'll see what Trump announced, huh? We'll come back to that. But for now, we must go. See Sal with the super chat says, why would they need to leave Africa country building material? The founding fathers built America out of nothing. No handouts. Very fascinating, see Sal. Amazing. All right, folks. Never. I gotta go, folks. See you tomorrow for more American Anchor Baby. Open Line Friday, Black Friday on the JLP show. The Hake Report, the Fallen State, and all that. Okay, I'm checking, making sure we don't miss any of the coffees and all that. All right, shout out to all of my supporters. For now, take care. See you tomorrow. Peace.